Hi guys and welcome back. So today, as you can see, I am filming in a different background, and that's because I'm not at home. I came to visit my sister. So when I unpacked my makeup, I thought I forgot all of my brushes, and I had the moment of freak out for a second there, but then I realized that fortunately I had everything with me. But that actually gave me an idea. I thought, what if I actually had traveled somewhere and I forgot all of my brushes? Because that can happen, and I didn't have anybody to borrow brushes from, because if I actually had forgotten my brush, I could borrow some of my sister's brushes. I know it wouldn't be the same as having my own brushes, but you know, that would do something. What if I actually had forgotten everything and my sponge and my brushes too? Like, what would I do? And I thought, why not make a video out of it and see how would I be able to do my makeup without having any brushes or sponge. If this had actually happened, I think I would try to at least buy a makeup sponge and a brow product with a spoolie, and I think everything else would be alright. But if I couldn't even find that, then I would only have my hands to apply all of my makeup. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I thought I'll try it. I've never done this before, I think. I mean, I have done like very simple everyday makeup without brushes and sponge either, but that was like with very basic stuff. I think it was only cream, highlighter, brow products, I think. I'm not sure, but it was like with very minimal stuff. But now I want to do a full face of makeup only with my hands. That's what we're doing today. So this is all the makeup I brought with me, only this bag. I have gotten better. I used to have more. And I also have 2 palettes. I know that 2 palettes might sound a little bit too much, but these are the palettes that I'm working with on my Project 10 pan. And yes, I did add 1 more palette. I will talk about that in my next Project 10 pan update. So this is what I'm working with. Shall we start? I am happy that I brought mostly cream products, because having powder face products would be difficult to apply with my fingers. I have quite a few different stuff. The only thing that I'm worried about is what I'm going to do about my brows, because I only have a brow pomade, which is also in the Project 10 pan, and I'm trying to finish. Actually, a lot of these products are in the Project 10 pan that I'm trying to finish. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. Since I'm going to do a full face of makeup, including eyeshadow, I'm going to start with concealer, and I have washed my hands. I have some of this concealer left, which is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. I'm almost finishing this, and this is also in my Project 10 pan. I'm looking forward to finish this. I have barely any left. I mostly use it to prime my eyes, because this is very full coverage, and it works nice for that. I also have been breaking out a little bit. I don't know why. I went to reach for my sponge, but I don't have any sponge. Fingers it is then. I have used my fingers to apply concealer when I do a very simple everyday makeup, but I definitely prefer to have a sponge when I'm doing this, especially with this concealer, because this is quite full coverage and it creases quite a bit. So also the oils from your fingers might break out the product a little bit, so that's why I think having a sponge is the ideal thing, or a brush if you prefer that, but I don't have either in this challenge. So it is definitely a challenge, this one. I think if I had gone somewhere and I had forgotten everything, I would definitely end up doing very simple makeup every day, which might not be that much fun all the time, you know? Sometimes you want to do something extra, especially if you're on vacation or something like that. Okay, this looks alright for now. Yeah, I have to clean my fingers all the time now. Yeah, I have to set it now. Well, I do have this puff in my bag, because I keep them together with my powder, but since I'm not using a sponge or anything, I'm not gonna use this either, although I would love to use it right now. But what I'm gonna do, I have been setting my eyes with this shade right here from the Morphe 25A palette, which is in my Project 10 pan. I have done actually quite a bit of a dent in this shade, because this is the only shade I've been using to set my eyes. Let's see if this works. I have applied matte eyeshadows before, but not to set my eyes from concealer. So let's see. Okay, it's actually going fine so far. I have a little bit of creasing, but it's working. Okay, not so bad. By the way, I don't know if you can hear, but there are some kids playing outside. They started playing right the moment I decided to start filming. Okay, you know what? they are set. That was not so bad. What should I do about my eyes? So I have those two eyeshadow palettes. What else do I have? I have this Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter Liquid Eyeshadow, but I kind of don't want to use this all over my eyes. I kind of like it a lot as an eyeliner. So I have those things, and I'm pretty sure I have a crayon. Yes, I also have the Linda Hallberg light core crayon, but as you can see, this is very light. I mostly use it in my waterline to make the eyes appear a bit bigger, so I cannot use it as an eyeshadow either. I wish I had more crayons with me. That would have been so much easier. I'm gonna think about it next time I pack to go somewhere, just in case I forget my brushes. I don't know how I can blend my eyeshadows with my fingers. I'm definitely gonna go, or should I go for a shimmery? This is difficult. So I have the Anastasia Subculture palette, by the way. I didn't mention this, but you probably recognize what it is. I kind of want to go with a shimmery shade because that would be very easy to apply with my fingers, but then I would have to blend out the edges with a matte shade, and I feel that's going to be difficult. I wish I had at least one blending brush. That would be so good. Okay, let's go with the shimmer. Okay, so I'm going to go with this shade right here, which is a very simple brown shade or coppery. Let's do this. This will probably not be very nice, but I think that's what you're expecting anyway. I don't feel like coppery shades look very nice on me. This is what I'm working with right now. Okay, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't have a brush to blend out the edges, so okay, so I'm gonna take this shade from the Anastasia palette and make an attempt of blending things out. Okay, let's see. Oh no, this is not going very well, because when you use your fingers, I do that with matte eyeshadow sometimes, but not to blend it out, only to put it and for it to be like a very intense color, you know, when I want it to be my lid shade, my main shade, and I don't want to apply any shimmers, not to blend things out. Yeah, I don't think this is turning very well. Kind of regret my choice. And I don't even know how to get into the corners of the eyes. Like, look what I did. Look what I did, because I used the same finger as I used for my shimmer, so I'm already starting to think that this was a bad idea. Oh my god. This is just getting worse. Okay, I think I would just have to go and buy some brushes. At least one blending brush if I was to put eyeshadow, or not put eyeshadow at all. Like, can you see this? I have the coppery eyeshadow everywhere. I so want to reach out for a brush right now. Yeah, no. I thought I had the chance, but this is going very bad. I don't know, I would maybe try to use some Q-tips, but I haven't done that so much, so I'm not sure how. I know there are some makeup artists that do that use Q-tips to apply eyeshadow, but I've actually don't think I ever done that, so maybe I would have to learn to. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. Since I have this liquid eyeshadow, I'm just going to try to kind of make like an eyeliner maybe out of this. I usually do this with a brush, but here it goes to nothing. I am hoping that this would save the situation. I'm definitely not going to do a winged line, so says while doing a winged line. The problem with this is I cannot do a very precise thin line, but you know what? Not so bad, huh? Okay, I think this is looking alright. Let's try to do this for the other eye too. I underestimated this, I guess. I think this saved the eye look. Yeah, that's all I'm doing for the eyes. That's all I'm doing, because I cannot look at this coppery mess that I have going on. So I'm just gonna move on to the next thing. And I feel like this was kind of the most difficult part, so except from the brows. Let's continue then. I brought this one with me. This is the Origins Ginzing SPF 40 Energy Boosting Tinted Moisturizer. And I really like using this during the summer, because I like to wear tinted moisturizer during the summer. And the good thing about this is I can apply it with my hands, and this is how I usually do it actually, because not all tinted moisturizers, I feel it's nice to apply it with your hands, although they're supposed to be very easy and fast to use. I don't feel like for example, I also brought this one. This is a Fenty Ease Drops foundation, or this is not a foundation, this is also a blurring skin tint. I kind of prefer to apply this with a sponge or with a brush. I don't really like to apply this with my hands because it kind of feels like a foundation. This is perfect. This comes in a color like this, but then I feel like it kind of adjusts to your skin tone. I'm not sure about that. So it doesn't have crazy coverage because obviously it's a tinted moisturizer, but it does have some coverage, and I prefer to apply it with my hands, which right now is everything that I need on my forehead and my neck. I hope this video turns out fine because I am filming with my iPhone and I am filming with the back camera and not the front camera, so I have to constantly check if it starts recording or something. This is a first for me, but I thought, you know what, it has a great camera, why not film with it? Because I did not take my usual camera with me. I hope it's fine. It covered alright. You have to really blend it out because it can look a bit patchy. Yeah, honestly, it's fine. It maybe doesn't go so well with this eye look because this eye look will probably need a little bit more coverage, but it did even up my skin tone. Can you hear the birds? Okay, moving on. What I'm gonna do now is use some more concealer for my under eyes. I'm gonna use the Fit Me concealer from Maybelline, which is a little bit of a lighter coverage and not as heavy and thick as the Jouer one, so that it goes a little bit better with a tinted moisturizer, because it looks a little bit weird if you use a very light coverage base and then use a heavier coverage concealer. Okay, blend it with my fingers, of course. Let's see how I'm going to set this, because setting the eyelids was fine because I don't want them to have more powder, but for my under eyes I want as little powder as possible. Skin is looking fine so far. I'm so happy that I had this one with me. It kind of saved the eye look. Okay, now I'm going to take my loose powder. This is the Hourglass Veil translucent setting powder. Wish me luck. This is so weird. I'm gonna try to remove any creases that I have. And okay, so I went to check out my phone and it wasn't recording, so that's the downside with not being able to see what you're doing. So it cut me off when I was applying my setting powder, and I was saying that it actually applied very well, and I'm impressed with the way it applied. Like, it actually looks and feels very smooth. I mean, obviously it would have been much better if I had my puff or a sponge or a brush, but I'm kind of impressed, and it felt very weird to apply a setting powder with my fingers, but it works. And then I went to apply my cream bronzer, and I was saying that I'm very happy that I brought a cream bronzer with me. This is a Fenty Beauty cream bronzer in the shade number 3 Macchiato, and I also said that it would have been more ideal if I had a stick cream bronzer instead of this one, but this actually applied very nice. I did apply this with my finger, but you didn't see that, so let's kind of do this again. I have already blended it out. Although I am blending it out with my finger, it actually blends out very well, and that's why I love this bronzer so much, because it applies so easily and blends out so nicely. This also feels so weird to blend out my bronzer with my fingers. So I was saying, what would you buy if you forgot to take all of your makeup with you, or your brushes or something? When it comes to makeup, I think I would buy a cream blush, a highlighter, cream highlighter, mascara, and a brow pencil with spoolie. I think these are the 4 things that I would buy, and I think that I would be able to create a very nice everyday makeup look. And yeah, probably a brow gel too, because that's very important. But let me know, what would you buy? I'm very curious to know what are priorities for you. Okay, you know what? This applied very nice. You can contour with this very nicely. I was afraid actually of this part. I was like, how I'm going to apply a cream bronzer with my fingers, because blush I have done before and it's fine, but cream bronzer it's more difficult, but actually it went quite fine. So filming with an iPhone didn't go as smooth as I thought. My memory just got full and I didn't realize that, so yeah, probably next time I will film with a front camera. It will be easier. I finished my bronzer and then I started doing my blush, and for that I'm using this Primark lipstick in the shade Desert Sand. I use it as a blush because it looks so nice and I get to use it up so much faster than only using it as a lipstick. Blush, it's not a problem at all. I've done it many times, only applied it with my finger, although I would prefer a brush or my sponge, but this works too. The bronzer was the part that I thought it would be more difficult, but it's probably because this bronzer is very easy to apply, but it applied very nice, even though I use fingers to do that. My base is looking actually very nice. I think it's what's saving this whole thing. Next, I'm going to go in with my highlighter. This is the Colourpop Do You Mind? This is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in the shade Fire. I applied this with my finger anyway, so nothing different here really. Okay, now for the brows. Honestly, I do not know how I'm going to do that because I only have a brow pomade. Should I attempt to do that with my nails? No, I don't think that's very sanitary. How can I do that? Let's see. Yeah, no, this is just not gonna happen. So I guess I will have to be browless. This is why I said if this was the case, I would definitely try to buy a sponge and a brow pencil with a spoolie. I think you cannot replace that with anything else. Instead, what I'm going to do is just apply some brow gel. Fortunately, this comes with a spoolie, makes it easy to use, and yeah, at least they look kind of put together, not as well as it would be if I had some color on them, but this is something. This is better than nothing. Kind of looks like I don't have brows, but it is what it is right now. I'll make sure to always have at least one brow pencil with me. I'm learning stuff here. Yeah, now I'm gonna go in with mascara. I'm just gonna curl my lashes, and I know that this could be considered a tool, but I always keep it in this bag anyway, so I don't think I would have forgotten this. And also, it's not gonna make a huge difference. I mean, I will still be able to do my mascara whether I had this or not. So I'm using the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara, and this is almost completely dry, but I'm still using it until it's totally dried out. It's so gloomy today. It's getting so dark because of the clouds, and that sucks. The last thing I can do here is apply some lipstick, and I'm using the same one. I'm almost finished with this, and I'm so excited about that. Do something very simple. All right, this is all I can do. I'm gonna come a bit closer so that you can see. Honestly, it did turn out a lot better than I thought that it would be. I mean, from far you wouldn't notice that this is only done with the hands and fingers, but everything looks fine except from the eyeshadows, which, I mean, it's not that bad because the liner or the liquid shadow saved it, but I would definitely prefer if I had a Crayon with me or something. And also the brows, like the brows do not look that great, but this is all I had to work with. So yeah, I'll know next time. I always have with me Crayon and a brow product. I mean, even if it didn't have a spoolie, it's okay because I would have the brow gel, but a brow pencil necessary. So yeah, this is what I ended up with. Let's hope that I never forget my brushes. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was entertaining or something, and don't forget your brushes. But I think that I would have been fine. At least the base would look nice, and I don't think if I had done that, I don't think that I would even bother. Okay, honestly, I give up filming with the iPhone because it just stops filming all the time. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remind me not to film with my iPhone again, or at least to film with my front camera, because this has been a bit annoying. I had to say things multiple times. But yeah, anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch up with you on the next video, and that will be probably in my usual setup with my camera. That's it for today. Bye!